Hi guys, Sarah here. Today I want to talk to you about an autoimmune disease that I have, and it's called interstitial cystitis, or IC for short, because interstitial cystitis is kind of a mouthful. So I was diagnosed with IC a few years ago. It took quite a long time, probably about 2 years, for my doctors to actually officially diagnose me. It's one of the most misdiagnosed diseases. It's actually one of the most painful diseases. They actually compare the pain of interstitial cystitis to that of stage 4 cancer. So, if you've ever had a bladder infection or urinary tract infection, then you know that that causes a lot of burning and discomfort. Now, imagine that same UTI, multiply the pain times about 1,000, and that's what it feels like to have IC. So 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, your bladder is on fire, and some days it means you can't even get out of bed, you can't even function. There are some nerve pain medications that they can put you on to try to treat your pain. I tried that for a couple of years until I maxed out my dosages. I couldn't go any higher on the gabapentin because I started having too many neurological side effects, and it wasn't good. So then my doctor transitioned me to a different nerve pain medication called Lyrica. It's worked pretty well, but the problem is it is super expensive, and I self-insure, and my insurance isn't it's not the greatest. And so even with insurance and even with like the copay assistance that the manufacturer provides, I still pay about $230 a month for the medication Lyrica. So it's not affordable, but I've been making it work because I couldn't function otherwise. But so over the last couple of years, I have been trying in vain to find other non-medication treatments for my IC. I have had hydrodistensions, and those do help with frequency, because another factor with IC is you can need to pee maybe 60 plus times a day. So imagine having to use the restroom every 10 minutes throughout the day, and at least a dozen times overnight. You're not going to be well rested. It's difficult. So getting your bladder distended, it can help with that frequency because it stretches your bladder back out. But with that, you can have other problems. So after I had tried a few series of failed nerve block injection attempts, like different ones and crazy names, and then I had tried a bunch of medications, and then there was a lot of medications that I couldn't even have because of my sensitivity to antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication. I can't take those at all. If I'm on those, I actually have seizures because I have something called serotonin syndrome. But back to my original story. So anyway, back in December of 2016, I finally was approved to do a trial for the St. Jude Medical NeuroStim device. Now this is a DRG placement, so instead of it being a spinal cord stimulator, they actually attach the lead wires to your dorsal root ganglion. It's like the big nerve roots, like right after it comes out of your spine. So I did that trial in December, and it worked really well. So I had to wait about a month or 5 weeks for my insurance to approve for me to get the permanent implant. So at the end of January 2017, I had my DRG NeuroStim device implanted in my back. It was a really rough recovery. I won't lie. It is because I had 3 lead wires placed, so I had a big incision for the placement of the actual like battery pack, and then 3 other incisions for placement of the lead wires. So 4 big incisions on your back. It was rough, especially the first 2 weeks. I was needing to take pain medication like around the clock, and it was, even with that, it was just really painful, and I second guessed myself like 1,000 times, wondering what did I get myself into? Is this thing even going to work? And then I had some issues with getting the calibration correct. It wasn't working right for me, and it took about maybe 3 months of meeting with the St. Jude medical reps and having them reprogram the device and try different things for me. And then finally in March they reset it, and they told me, now just leave it how it is so we can see if it's working. And you know what, I don't think I've adjusted my simulation since that date, and it has been life-changing. I mean, I can do normal things again. I can drive my kids to school. I can go to the grocery store. I can do all of these things that you really take for granted when you don't have an autoimmune disease, or when you don't have something that really is debilitating for you. So it has been such a huge blessing for me to have this little miracle device implanted in my lower back. And the sad thing is that there are so many people in the world, even just in the United States, that have IC, and most of them haven't heard of this device, even though they've been successfully implanting this DRG neurostimulator in Europe for like a decade. They've only been allowed to do it in the US, I think, for maybe 2 years now. But I just want to tell all of my IC brothers and sisters, talk to your doctor, find out about this device, because it has been honestly life-changing. I am able to work again. I work for myself. I'm an independent rep with Agnes and Dora. I'm doing something that I love. I help women find beautiful clothing that makes them look and feel great. I can work on my own schedule, so it's just awesome. But talk to your doctors. There is a ton of hoops that they'll make you jump through before they will let you even try this device, and it's because of the expense. When I got the first billing statement from the surgical center where I had the device implanted, I mean, I nearly fainted, because I got a statement saying that the total charges was like over $400,000. $400,000. I didn't end up having to pay that much. I am having to pay quite a few $1,000s, but it is so worth it to me. Just not having to be on so many medications where you can't drive or you can't function. And you know, I was wondering to myself, does this thing really work? Because when they reset it for me in March and I hadn't changed it, I was wondering, you know, like, can I really tell? Is it working? And honestly, I had forgotten how much it hurt to feel my bladder, because about 3 weeks ago I had to go in for my mammogram and a breast ultrasound, and to do that I had to turn my neurostim device off. And within about 2 or 3 minutes of turning it off, I wanted to climb the walls. It was horrible, horrible, horrible. When you haven't felt it and then you just instantly feel it again, it was so bad. I mean, that was like the longest 20 minutes of my life for them to do the mammogram and then to do the ultrasound. And as soon as that ultrasound tech was done, I grabbed my my little controller thing, and I turned that device back on, and within 2 minutes I was back to having my pain totally almost 100% suppressed, and it was eye-opening. And I'm glad that I did have to turn it off, because now I know 100% that this thing really works, you guys. You need to talk to your doctors. Pain management doctors, they would be able to put this in for you. Your neurosurgeon could put it in for you. If you contact me, I can give you the contact information for a rep from St. Jude Medical, so that they can tell you who the closest doctor in your area is, that is putting these devices into people. And it's amazing. This thing, it targets the exact body part where you have pain. It is a neural stimulator that was developed specifically for pain management. So, you know, for me, they put the little electrode wire things on the DRG, the dorsal root ganglion, so up in like my mid back, where the nerve roots for your bladder come out of your spine. So your nerves can only carry one signal at a time. So what they do is they attach these electrodes to your nerve above the area where you're having pain. So for me, the bladder nerves. And it sends a constant signal to my brain. So basically what it's doing is it's sending a busy signal. And because it's up higher than my bladder is still trying to send this horrible pain signal, but it can't get through. It can't get through because of this magic device. So please reach out to me if you want more information about this. I can post I'll post some pictures of, you know, what the scars looks like, because I know, I mean, it sucks to have a bunch of scars on your back, but it sucks worse to not be able to get out of bed and take care of your family, or do simple things like go to the store. So thank you so much for watching. I know this has been really long, and I probably have been rambling on and on, but thank you so much for taking the time to watch. If you like what you've seen, subscribe to my channel. I'll be adding more videos, especially as time goes on and I have more updates about how this has been working and any other treatments that I have been trying. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.